So I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen this because it's been on Good Morning America. It's been trending all over YouTube, and it's very, very I don't even have the words. Disgusting. I don't even have the words, but I'm gonna let y'all check it out. For those of y'all who have not seen this story, it's about a daycare in Mississippi, and they were going around with those screen masks.
You got some feedback,
scaring 1 and 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds, like scaring the shit out of them with their screen masks. These kids were terrified. They were so scared. It was just like, man. But anyway, let me go ahead and bring that on here so you guys can check it out just in case y'all haven't seen it. And this just happened recently, by the way, of course. Okay, pull it on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody.
Follow up from the viral video showing daycare workers wearing Halloween masks terrifying toddlers. Arrest warrants have now been issued for 5 workers involved in the incident. Stephanie Ramos here with the details. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, George. This video is so hard to watch, guys. These daycare workers entrusted with caring for toddlers by their parents are the very people frightening them.
This morning, the daycare workers seen in this viral video scaring the very children they're hired to take care of, now facing multiple charges for their actions.
We started looking into the case to see, what facts there were out there to corroborate the video and kind of where that might lead them to pursue criminal charges.
According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, 5 employees of the Little Blessings Child Care and Learning Center in Hamilton, Mississippi, were charged and arrested. Sierra McCandless, Okiana Kilburn, Jennifer Newman, and Cheyenne Shelton facing 3 felony counts of child abuse, and Tracy Huston hit with 2 misdemeanors, including a simple assault against a minor. In the video, daycare workers use a scary Halloween mask and appear to intentionally scare the young children, even chasing and grabbing a toddler at one point in the 2-minute video.
I was in complete shock of what I witnessed. Whether they had a mask on or the mask off, their behavior was unacceptable. My blood pressure was raised. It broke my heart for my child. I was angry.
Speaking to ABC News Overnight, Caitlin Johnson says her 2-year-old son is still showing signs of trauma and hardly sleeping through the night. She sees these charges as first steps toward justice.
I hope you're enjoying jail, and I hope you realize what you've done is serious, and it's not a joke, and it's nothing to laugh at.
Keegan and Alyssa Hayes' 2.5-year-old daughter was also in one of those classrooms. They want us to show her face to see what their daughter went through.
I want them to see the terror on her face because that is what I see every night.
The owner of the center, who hasn't been charged, says she was not aware of what was happening and that kind of behavior is not tolerated. The workers, including the one holding the camera, were fired earlier in the month.
Just the attention that's been given to this at this point might keep something like this from happening, or people to look into what's going on, in their daycare facilities.
Just heartbreaking. The 5 former workers who were arrested will go before a judge today for their initial appearance and have a bond set. Now, the grand jury meets next year and will decide whether there is enough evidence to indict them on felony charges. Guys.
Girl. Now, I want to hear some feedback from y'all because I know somebody's ass will be getting whooped. But before I say that, I did have 2 daycare people on my show, childcare owners on my show before, interviewed them around the time of COVID. And one thing I like about these centers that I had interviewed, they have so many cameras all throughout every corner, besides, of course, the restrooms. But every corner is under surveillance 24 hours a day. It looks like you walking up in the White House or something like that when you walk up in there. And one of the things I have to say is the daycare owner said she didn't know about this. If you had security cameras around your daycare, like you should, I think you should, then I'm sure they would have known about this. But anyway, y'all got something to say about this? Like I said, I couldn't even put it in words because I like that little girl's face. When they showed that little girl's face, the mom said, I wanted y'all to see her face because she was terrified. Like the girl looked like she was about to just crack. But anyway, yeah, that kind of made me teary-eyed.
It was very disturbing, to see that nowadays. Now, when I was growing up, I've got at least 40, 50 years on some of you all. People did things that were not as thought out as well as they are now. And things traumatized us as kids. I'm not laughing at the video. I'm laughing at some things that was done to me as a child in the name of holidays, good spirit, family, passing on the torch. A lot of these traditions are very horrifying, and you can't do a lot of the things we used to do in the past like they do now with kids.
Yeah, I can
Because
recall being scared by family members. Even my
Mhm.
stepdad, Halloween time, it was like his thing. So I can remember
Yeah.
being scared, or they would scare you, jump out of different things they would do to get a rise out of you when we were kids. But it was nothing like that though.
You can give kids post-traumatic stress syndrome, and then also to have them on public social media in that state of whatever terror that they're having, and then what is acceptable. It's too much. It's too much. It's a lot. I can't speak as a parent or anything like that, but I mean I know what's right and what's wrong, and that's definitely not right. And you just can't do a lot of things that you think is cute and it's okay. You can't do a lot now. I mean, like, period, point blank, without it being videotaped and caught and put on social media. Yeah, run that disclaimer. The liability is a lot. I can't hear you, the hood table.
Oh, okay, yeah, I had to make sure I ran that disclaimer. I had totally forgot.
Yeah, the liability is not worth it. I mean, a lot of times people start jobs and start companies and things, and they sign. I know everybody makes fun of NDAs here on the YouTube, but normally, if you get a professional job, or really any job now, especially since social media has kicked in, you will be signing some type of NDA, not putting your job and what you do out on Front Street totally, especially if you're doing some working in certain areas of the company. Like Amazon, they just allowed Amazon employees to bring in cell phones. They used to not, like, they had severe and long security lines just to get into, work and stuff. But you can't even really walk and go into the grocery store. You see, you can't go to Walmart without being taped. You can't go anywhere. So you can't do certain things like this. I mean, it can cause stress on kids, and people will sue you.
Go ahead, CP.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
I'm just adjusting my camera.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Well, yeah, I was just gonna say the person, like one of the mothers said, regardless if you were in the mask or if you didn't have a mask, like the person recording it, I don't know. I have I always joke around, say Tanya love the kids, like that one comedian, or I can't remember who that person is. They used to always say that all the time. Something love the kids. Was it Bernie Mac? It was somebody, but
Martin.
Martin.
Martin
Okay,
loves the kids.
really do. I really do love the kids, and I have a very soft spot when it comes to abuse and hurting children, and children being scared, like even just being scared. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very I can get very emotional. Like when I saw that little girl crying, I was like, oh my God. I'll tell you, ooh. Shit like that makes me want to clock somebody right in the head. But yeah, I think whether he was recording it or running around with the mask, yes, charges should have been put on them, and I'm glad they did. And this is Mississippi, okay? All white people.
That's that. I was getting that. You just mentioned something. I intermittently watched the video you playing. Were there any black children in there?
I didn't see any.
I didn't see any.
My thought process is, and you know how I am, if it was, it'd be a totally different story.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be a story about scaring kids. It'd be a story about somebody jumping on the owner.
I know. Or shooting them.
Because, I mean, I agree. Kids that young, no. Mm-hmm. Now, if they're exposed to it a little bit older, because a lot of kids like these scary movies. Right. You know, they look forward to them because they're not scary like they used to be. They're almost comical.
Yeah, and when it happened to us, we were older. That's what I was saying to view. It wasn't like that. We weren't 1 and 2, barely able to. These kids can't. They probably too young to tie their shoes. They probably don't even know all their ABCs. Like this is, imagine the nightmares. These kids, the nightmares. This could be a
yeah. I agree, but like I said, you saw no people as cousin would say with any melatonin in there, because it would have been a different story. Because they'd be in there clowning as soon as they found out.
I would be straight. I have clowned for much less over my kids.
We know.
Straight clown. Like,
we know.
Drag a bitch out the basketball game clown. I mean, I didn't clown for my kids, but some shit like that, innocent little child who can't defend themselves, and they don't know what the Scream movie is. They don't know it's fake movie. They don't know it's something on TV. They just know these people that's supposed to care for them and provide them and make sure they're safe is scaring the shit out of them. Like, that just made me so disgusted. I was angry.
I mean, legally, the stress alone of that traumatizing the kids like that, it's toddlers, and around the holidays such as Halloween. I mean, you could claim that stress syndrome every year, and if you're going through a lawsuit, I mean, you have to calculate that on top of what you're suing for. And some of these cases get through. I'm still confused about the lady that spilled coffee on herself from McDonald's, asking for extra hot coffee, and when she got it, she spilled it on herself and won all that money. I mean, are these cases frivolous? I don't know, but this little baby is screaming in terror. We don't know if one day when she grows up 30 years from now, she ends up killing everybody and blaming people, that the teachers that at the school she was at traumatized her. I don't know. You just can't do anything nowadays.
You can't. And then the recording stuff, like every time you record something, it's bound to get out there. I don't care if you're recording something to never be seen again. It's gonna get out there eventually. I don't know how this got out there, the person recording it. I don't even know why you would post something like that on social media, because like, how you not think that you were going to be in Detroit? Like, how you not think you was going to be in hot water?
I'm just thinking about some things we should do as kids. It's like, I know you didn't do that, and we could have sued for lots of money. I'm sorry, it's off the topic. I apologize.
It's okay. I mean, we've done a lot of foolish things. And, even like sometimes when we talk about our parents used to scare us and stuff like that, or older kids in the family or something like that, it was literally all in fun. It was literally all in fun. But from looking at this video, this was not done in fun. It seemed like they wanted these children to just be horrified.
Right. Right.
And then the way the mother picking up the kid, he trying to run away, and she picking him up and putting her face all in his face. Child, you know what that can do for a little person's heart. Shit, let somebody come in my house with a screen mask on, scaring me. If I don't get to my pistol, I might pass out. I ain't even lying.
Knew it was coming. You and that pistol.
You already know, but I mean, for real though, if somebody come in your house and you just see them and they just running around trying to attack you with a mask on, some people, their heart might fucking stop. Like, oh no, hell no.
Well, I just want to interject real quick off subject. It's been a pleasure seeing y'all, hearing y'all. But I finally reached my destination after Chick-fil-A messed up my order.
Well, have fun.
I will be in touch.
Nice
Y'all
to
take
see
care.
you.
Nice seeing
Have
you.
a good night.
And we'll be in touch. Y'all take care. Be safe.
For sure.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
you do the same. Have fun tonight.
Ain't no fun. I'm watching a movie. Stop it.
Uh-huh.
Nasty ass.
Uh-huh. Y'all
Goodbye.
play
Goodbye.
Nintendo.
Goodbye.
Bye.
No, but and then also suppose somebody got hurt during that situation. Somebody fell and slipped and bust their head around a situation that really was stupid, scaring kids with masks. I mean, the implications of what could have happened, and any type of insurance that the school care workers, it looked like it was a at home type of daycare situation. Doesn't look like it was a professional not an institution, but a professional company or whatever. I'm not into the schooling system, so I don't know about that. But yeah, it just looks like it's a mom and pop thing. So I don't know. I hope they have the licenses up to date. That's one thing I hope, because that's going to be checked. Besides them just firing a couple of the workers who had done that, there's a lot of other things that are going to be involved in what's going to happen to that company and that services, and also for other services in the future.
Oh, that daycare provider, I have a big feeling that daycare provider will no longer be doing daycare, because once, like, how many kids was in there? It was probably about 15 kids in there, maybe. And I'm certain that all those parents is going to sue the hell out of that daycare provider.
Everybody's going to sue.
Right.
Right.
Child, and the daycare provider, I'm sorry, ma'am, but whether you are at a home daycare or in a building, a facility, a brick and mortar, you should have cameras nonstop during your daycare hours.
And then somebody has to supervise the teachers that are working. I mean, who suggested and thought that was a good idea to do that? Exactly. And who thought it was a good idea to tape it? Thank goodness that people are taping things, but I don't like it all the time when they tape shit. But I mean, we wouldn't have the receipts that we have now. But yeah, I hope they paid their insurance premium. That's all I'm going to say. There's lots of people that are going to sue. Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, like bro said, and you know what? Did you get a real good look at the ladies who were charged? Like, I'm sorry, they look like trailer trash. I'm sorry.
They look like I would never, like, you're just going to trust your kids around people that look like that. I'm really picky about certain things, and I would never. I don't know what type of set. I mean, we saw how it looked with them, all the tents lined up and the chairs and everything looking all clean, yellow, pink, and green. And, but that might be the outside. We don't really know what it looks like inside. Definitely have cameras, but they don't even look like, anything that I would want to send if I had some dogs to go get dog trained at. I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know why people they just think, well, they just got to drop their kids off and let them go anywhere. I just can't imagine anybody really putting their kids in that situation, unless I'm seeing something different, but it just didn't look like anything. It looked like trash.
You know what? It looks like those are one of those daycares that when you can't afford, or not afford, but when you are not privileged to get Title 20 assistance, because we all know that daycare costs a whole lot of money, right? So you know how some daycare providers, they give you they like waive some of the fee because you pay cash. So that looks like one of those daycares where they probably take cash. They you know, they give you a huge discount. I mean, it just the people who were working there, I mean, they look like they shouldn't be taking care of children. I mean, I'm sorry,
Well,
but
there wasn't any guidance. There wasn't any management. I mean, like you can hire people to, do those jobs and things, but somebody has to be the one that's finally does a sign off and say, okay, we can do this today. We can do that. Somebody had to think about it. I mean, nobody thought about them putting on scary 2, 3, 4 mask on and screaming around these kids at a daycare. Like, that's not something. I mean, that whoever is in charge of that was in charge of that or set that up. They were not organized and they didn't think out the process. So I just, I'm looking at it from that point. But I feel sorry for anybody that's traumatized by anything like this. But I do see lots of lawsuits, and for me, I'd rather homeschool. If they had to choose between that, I would somehow figure out. I'll be one of those people to scrap the babies on my back and work on the computer, but I would not. This doesn't look like a place that, I know people can't afford everything nice, but they just look scary. And then look at, the fact that those teenage kids and then they just look crazy. The women look like they came from, well, I can't say prison. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say that. But they just didn't look like anybody you want to help mold.
They do, though. They look like some bitches that run a meth lab out of a trailer.
They just look like derelicts.
Like,
and how would you want to leave your newborn kids or kids that are growing and developing, needing some guidance and structure? And I mean, really? Leave them with those crackhead looking, blown up, swollen tramps. See, I'm being real. No, I'm trying not to go cussing. I'm trying to be nice. I'm on the hood table. I'm not on my channel. It didn't look acceptable.
Go ahead.
I'm all good. Everybody can't afford certain things. I know that and I understand that, but they still need people to come by and inspect, and inspectors, the county, city government. I don't know who inspects daycare workers or whatever, but if you can stay home and raise your kids as far as you can, I suggest doing that, because if you don't, you see what you're putting your kids in. Sally Mae can take care of the kids, and look what's happened to Sally Mae and her situation. Now she got your kids out here on the YouTube looking stupid.
And do pop-ups. Like we do pop-ups at school. I know a lot of parents like me. I used to pop-up queen. I pop up. They be like, hey, because they already know what kind of parent I am, and I don't play about school. But I also don't play about teachers, or some teachers, they be disrespectful, treating kids any old kind of way. So you got to do a pop-up every now to make sure your teachers in check and make sure your kids is behaving in check. So it's the same way with these daycare facilities. I don't care if they're a home daycare or a brick and mortar. You still have to do a pop-up every now and then, y'all. Check up on these kids.
Let me say this.
Just okay. If these kids is if this happened to these kids around Halloween, it does not mean that these kids weren't being abused.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The hood table. I was like, if they doing this shit during Halloween, what about the other days of the year that the holidays?
I'm sure they did not wait till Halloween to scare the shit out of these children. I'm sure they have to be doing something else throughout the year to these kids.
What are they doing to the other holidays? I bet they be fucking them kids on doing MLK.
They screaming at them and yelling at them and pulling on them, and you know what I'm saying?
We just don't know. They just take it on this holiday.
A person like that does not care for fucking kids. Like, you cannot care for kids. Would you scare your own 1-year-old, 2-year-old like that and get them down there a baby heart attack? Like,
horrible.
You can really severely hurt a child, whether mentally or physically, at that young age. So yeah, these fuck ass bitches, I'm telling you, like bro said, had them been some black kids up in that motherfucker, the whole story would have been totally different.
Oh, they would have whitewashed it. Pardon the pun. Yeah, it would have been swept on. It would have been given
it wouldn't have been swept under the rug, because somebody's parents would have been up in there tearing that shit apart. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, so yeah, they might have would have tried to sweep it under the rug, but
Yeah, they
after,
would have attempted to. Yeah, they would have. Mm-hmm.
but child,
But
let
the
me get
thing,
off. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
no, I think it's it's a curse and a grace on social media, but for situations like that, I think it's awesome,
Mhm.
especially if it's in a school setting, because that's just wrong. First of all, I don't like it when people put their kids and any type of kids on the YouTube. But that's my business, my opinion. I'm not telling anybody, I'm not preaching. I'm just saying what it is. But when situations occur like this, is definitely needed, and it helps being able to charge the people. I mean, to see that. But I just wish after this it'll go away. I just don't want that, taping to be put out there for the kids to have that as their legacy on the social media, 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. And then they're running for office and doing things. And I mean, things you do on the YouTube, do as young, it's going to come back to
And
you.
they
It's
are
going to
there
come back.
forever. So how do you feel
Stuck there
though?
forever.
And I'm glad you said that view, because how do you feel about the one mom? Because the other kids, they had that blur over their face, but the one mom was like, "Fuck that shit. I want y'all to see the fear, the terror in my daughter's face."
That sounded like a money grab.
I'm thinking though now, like you said, that might be on the internet forever, and when that child grows up, she might still be traumatized from that. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with the
I
mother
don't disagree.
doing it,
No.
because sometimes you just gotta, okay, it is okay, let's say, I know this is off a totally different area of discussion, but I'm gonna just say real quick, Emmett Till. Everybody kept begging this lady to not put this in the paper, not let everybody see this. But sometimes you just gotta be like, it is what it is. I need to grab people's attention. Like, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope these kids, I think they definitely should put these kids in some type of therapy, or counseling or something. They weren't raped, they weren't they weren't nothing like that, but
Mm-hmm.
they were still assaulted. They were still, to me, they were
Yeah,
still
the level of it. It wasn't physical, but I mean,
mentally.
it mentally could affect a lot of different things. So
Yeah.
it's a lot, and we haven't even touched the surface of what could happen if somebody does sue for it, and what could happen in reality. And like, maybe that's why people are in this situation now, because me, or not me, but anybody that was younger was traumatized by somebody running with a butcher knife and doing certain things. I'm trying to think, what did we do as Halloween? I don't know. We didn't traumatize people like that. I mean, trick or treat,
No.
steal candy bags, and maybe toilet paper your house, or
Yeah, remember that when people would toilet paper the
yeah,
house and the trees and all that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
We didn't have social media, so nothing we did would be, unless you burnt somebody's house down. I mean, that's a whole that's sick. But there was none of this trying to figure out what category of stress and mental, you know, duress are you serving to somebody. But
Yeah, they were definitely out to hurt these kids. I mean, the way they were acting with those kids, it
it
seemed
wasn't
like to me,
funny. It wasn't even
it
funny.
wasn't funny. Yeah, in the least bit, it wasn't funny in the least bit. It was
It's supposed
like,
to be like Easter's supposed to be happy. Like, I mean, I know, and think, what is it? Easter bunny, da 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 da. Halloween, we already know it's a little scary, but why set somebody up at 2 or 4 years old? I don't even know how old these kids are. Scaring
right.
them, choking them, and pulling them. Did you see that one ugly one
Yes,
just run
girl.
around?
I'm telling you, not only was they chasing the children, but when they were grabbing some of them up,
Yeah.
forcing them to deal with it, and forcing them to face them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
Way too young.
a view,
Right.
a view, a view. I'm just like, man, I would have came up there, no questions, no talking, like,
But who said, okay, this is what we're going to do? We're going to allow $25 to buy some masks and some stuff. And we're going to, when the kids come in, after parents drop them off, we can have them all strapped down while they have their snack. And then you at 9 o'clock, we're going to pull out the mask and run around and scream. Like, is that what you plan for the agenda? Is that what the management signed off on? Is that what you okay for in the activity plan? Was that part of the activity? Did you have to pay extra for that?
I'm telling you, View, I can bet my life that those children go through something on a regular basis. It might not be a scream mask, but you got to be some heartless son of a bitches and I sound like an old country ass hillbilly right now, but you got to be some heartless ass son of a bitches to scare children like that. And like I said, they probably was doing other stuff to those kids that might, that's why a lot of people don't send their kids to daycare, or they don't send their kids to other people's houses to spend a night and things like that at a very young age, because kids can, like there's this other story I wanted to talk about, and it's so sad. I'll talk about that later. But kids, there's this other story where a lady, her husband had full custody of the children, and she kept begging and begging and going to the courts and going to CPS and going to everybody saying he's abusing the kids. He's abusing the kids. They come home telling me all these horrific stories, and they like, well, they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. And end up the kids, man, they died, right? So they were starved, they were beaten, and the father and his girlfriend was doing all kind of shit to these kids. And so a lot of people, when their kids are real young, they can't explain on a level that kids who are older can. Like they might say things like, hey, they do, you know how little kids are. They can't form a sentence. They just can say a little bit like, somebody hit me, or somebody that you like. They can't say this person took a whole belt and locked me in the closet and beat my ass. But they were telling this mother that their dad was putting them in a garage and out back if they told the dad that we miss our mom and we love our mom. So the kids were not allowed to say anything positive about their mom and their dad's custody. And if they did, and so the mom, she even recorded, she was like, what you mean he make you go outside? And he was like, outside, by the car, outside. Kind of find out he was tying these kids up outside. He was putting them in a garage, no clothes. It's 40, 30 degrees. No clothes, no shoes, no pillow, no blanket. If they said something positive about their mom in his custody. So kids, they don't have that mentality to explain shit like that. And that's why a lot of people don't send their kids to daycare or over people's house, even family members. Because we know family can be, y'all know. But yeah, until their kids are old enough to actually speak and say exactly what's going on with them. But welcome back to the chat, Miss Sislow.
Hey y'all, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm driving, so cutting in and out. Hey, you all.
Yes, we hear you. And KDL said, in my field, mental health trauma is definitely very loosely caused, unique for each different individual. When a person or a child fears for their or someone else's safety or life, and or it feels helpless. Yeah. Like totally helpless. These kids felt helpless. I'm sure the first thing they were thinking was mom and dad. Like, where's mom and dad? Why is mom and dad sending me here to go through this? Kids don't know better. They 1 and 2 years old. Why is mom and dad? Where are they? Do they know what's going on? That just breaks my heart. I hope they give them the maximum time that they can give in a situation like this. I really do. But I'm going to be following this story because I want to know when they go to court. I want to see the trial. I want to do all that.
I just came in, so I missed it. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's okay, honey. That's okay. I sent you the link in our group chat. I sent you the link. Our of the little boy, the daycare people who were scaring the kids with the screen mask. Yeah, I sent y'all the link to that in our group chat. So.
Oh yeah, girl.
That's what we was talking about. Yeah.
That's what you call country bumpkin in England.
Girl, ignorant.
Country bumpkin ignorant. That's hillbilly ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
You better be good. He better be good.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was just telling View. I said I can bet on my life that this is not the first time that these children have been terrified of these daycare providers. Maybe not with a mask, but maybe with their voice, their eyes, they discipline. This is not a once-time thing that these kids have been traumatized in this daycare. Ain't no way.
And the thing was, they wanted to make sure that they traumatized each and every one of those kids. They were going to them one by one to make sure that they had their own traumatic experience. That was terrible.
Mm-hmm. I agree. One by one, like when they snatched that little boy up, they were snatching them kids up. Oh, you gonna run for me? Snatch them up. Come on now. Now you putting your hands on my kids. I'm telling y'all, boy.
That part. Mm-hmm.
Boy, we all be up in jail. I'm telling y'all, but they gonna have an ass whooping.
A plethora of ass whoopings.
Yeah, a plethora of ass whoopings. Man, I'm telling you, boy.
Ass whooping like a 9 to 5. Every time I see you, I'm see you at least about 2-3 times a week. I'm whooping your ass.
Yeah, like when you in the streets and you get in a fight, you like, bitch, every time I see you, it's on site. I'm telling you.
On site. I don't care if we're at church. We can be at a funeral. We can be at another daycare. I'm going to whoop your ass.
Wherever.
High school reunion is on site everywhere.
It don't matter. Hell, you could be at a rest stop at a public park. I'm going to whoop your ass.
Mm-hmm.
You can be at the gas station. You already know that's when we love to get down there.
Girl, boy, the gas station. Hold up.
Yeah, we act donkey when it comes to the gas station because we know everybody watching.
Is that Bill's on 40th? 42nd?
All in the regular ass shit. It wouldn't matter where the hell it would be. Bill's on 40th or east side of San Antonio or south side of College Station or north side of Bryan. It wouldn't even matter.
No, it used to always go down at the gas
Get
station.
your ass whooped.
For real. And we be like just sitting there, going to get gas, going to get a drink. Next thing you know, either pow, 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 or somebody fighting. All the time.
Ass whooping. It's ass whooping time.
All the time. I'm going to get gas and we going to whoop ass.
There it is. Gas and whooping ass. There, the combo. The North Omaha combo. Getting gas and whooping ass.
Right.
You know what? I think
you whoop ass.
I think you might have came on to something.
I don't get gas at night, that's for sure. I like soon as the sun it looks like it's getting ready to go down. No, ma'am.
No, it be during the daytime too.
I know, but at least I feel safe. At least I can see something. I can identify something.
Yeah, summertime. Yeah, ain't nobody in school. Yeah, it's going down in the summer.
Noontime, these motherfuckers they care. They don't care. They be out
there
swinging and banging at the gas.
Swinging and banging. It's fighting time. Like, what you fighting for? I don't know. He fighting, so I want to fight. What kind of shit is that?
Don't hear about the fight, and then you roll up in there later to ask the employees, man, I heard there was fighting out here. Yeah, look at the gunshot in the window. Like,
Right.
More
you want your ass whooped too, nigga? No, you know that's how it works.
No, like, for real, it would be going down with that daycare. Like, all jokes aside, like,
yeah,
my heart goes out to those kids because I have been traumatized.
A couple of them was crying. You know, a couple of them, they look like they up and I'm like, what y'all crying for now? It was funny. It was funny when y'all was out here free. Now y'all got facing federal felony charges. Now y'all crying.
Federal.
The one little chick, she on there, you could tell she gonna snitch on everybody because she was just crying. I mean, she was red. I mean, when she took the mug shot, she just had that look like she had that Terrell, you know, that
they look like rednecks, hillbillies. They look like a bunch of meth heads that were in charge of taking care of children.
You remember when Terrell Owens got on national TV, he was over there crying, talking about he got to feed his kids, and the bottom of his lip just shivering, and he snotting and crying.
Ashy lip syndrome.
Yeah, that's how she was looking. She was over there looking like, man, I'm telling on everybody. I'm not about to go to jail. I can't go to jail.
I just want to know what the owner looked like. What your employees look like. I want to know what the owner looked like.
I need to
Stupid.
get into the accounting office. I need to check that out.
They still all stupid.
Man.
They ain't that damn stupid though. They got that damn daycare and all them children, but now that money gone.
Who certified that? Okay, what state I mean, there's lots of things that's going to happen now. Okay,
Great state of Mississippi.
That was Mississippi.
all right, so there we go. It's going to be a lots of activity with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in Mississippi.
And where's the license? And what type of when was the last audit? And not just financial, but for the well-being. Like the social workers have to do certain things. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a big thing.
Yeah, throw the whole daycare away. Throw it away. Just throw the whole daycare away.
Yeah,
oh, it's legal to scare the Negro kids.
Right. You're like
it's legal. Hell yeah, you scared them little bastards. That's what they say. You scared them
all
little
day
bastards.
long.
All day long. We'll give them. They already they grow up in the area where they getting shot and shooting and everything. So yeah, you scared them. They ain't gonna get scared of that mask. That boy was screaming. Boy, he was screaming, hollering Jack.
I can't.
And it was like, I mean, it just baffles me that certain people think it's okay to do certain things.
Well, you scared of little Negro
where
kids.
is your head at? Where is you the grown up here, you the adult, you the mature one, or should be.
Scared of little Negro babies.
Yeah, I think it's to be funny, not even really to do any.
It's a joke to them.
It's a joke, and then to tape it and everything, and get some clicks and views and all that.
Look, you scared of little Negro babies.
See, that's what I'm saying. Clicks and views, the things that people do for clicks and views, we say that all the time in the B sector. But something like this where it involves children, very small children, that would you would think
you getting stomped out. You
would think they would never want that to see the light of day.
You getting packed out. Simple as that.
They put no.
You getting beat up. You gonna get beat up. I don't take your choice how you want your ass whooped, but you gonna catch that one.
Yeah, you gonna catch a fade, bro. You gonna
catch a whole bunch of fades. It ain't gonna just be one fade because I already know somebody gonna call the police. Somebody, I'm gonna have to catch you later. Cause I probably, if I end up going, I got a bond out. But then I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna catch you then. I'm gonna catch you at the grocery store somewhere, gas station. I'm gonna throw a shoe at you, a book, something, a brick. I don't give a shit.
I like grandma used to do. I'm gonna get my house shoe, whatever is in arm's reach.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to shoot you because that's attempted. That you could be talking. That's discharging firearms and
we can't do that. Yeah, we can't.
No, we can't do it. Just who the hell got that kind of money to keep paying the laws to get up out that bullshit?
I know. Shoot, I got money, but I ain't got a lot of money. Shoot,
not to be spending on
out of jail and shit. Even though I know they ass deserve it, you know what I'm saying? Because they deserve a whole bunch of hella whoopings. I mean, some ass whoopings. Like they man.
They deserve more than some ass whooping, but we ain't gonna go there.
Every child in that daycare, their entire family should just come welling down on them. Every child's entire family should come welling down on them.
And they are, I think.
Just whoop their ass like rag dolls.
I know my family specifically would be like, what the what?
Maybe we need to get him. Maybe we need to get him some of that. Maybe they need to pump them full of some Zoloft's and get them a little hallucinated, and somebody start jumping up in the rooms with their ass and scaring the hell out of them and watching them go crazy.
Oh, take it to another level. Okay.
Yeah. Like, y'all know how they gotta calm the patients down. Get your ass with some of that Lexapro. Oh, you a badass, huh? Oh, you think you tough? Oh, okay. Yeah, we got something for you. Yeah, we're gonna slip something on his tray. Yeah, every time he come through the line, you give him a little extra dose of that Lexapro or some of that Ritalin or something. Get him right.
Good Lord.
Yeah, you get extra.
Ritalin, not the Ritalin from 1980, not the Ritalin.
Oh Lord, Ritalin. Oh my goodness.